I have a hypothetical question. The question is, in many countries in the ocean, in this Indian Pacific, they're becoming, this economic upliftment. A country like Bangladesh, for example, we are doing pretty well in terms of economic development. Since we are doing pretty well, as a result, the aspirations of our common people has gone up, shoot up. They want more facilities, more opportunities for better life, and more infrastructure facilities in the country. But we don't have money, neither we have technology. So in that case, we have a difficulty. We need to develop to face this public demand, the challenge. But at the same time, this help from many countries has been declining. Thanks to, of course, Japan, they are one of the best friends who have been investing in our infrastructure. And also thanks to India, they have been giving line of credit to us. But alternatively, China comes forward with a basket of money and aggressive proposals, affordable proposals. And then you have a problem, what to do. We would expect, because as the development process is ongoing, our people demand more infrastructure development. And there we need a competition. We need more funding from our development partners. But unfortunately, times they come with a lot of strings, and that becomes very difficult. Till today, our largest loan, we borrow maximum loan from World Bank and IMF and the ADB. But also we are trying to get some fund from others because the need for development process is too high. Now, is there any way out? That I was pleased to hear from Senator Pine that she said that they have developed a big infrastructure budget. And are you willing to come up with more lucrative programs for countries like us for our infrastructure development? And we'll appreciate to have more infrastructure development financing. Thank you very much.
I thought that question was for our Indian minister. And didn't he start out saying that was for you?
I think he thought you had more money.
We have just put in place finally a new head of a new entity called the Development Finance Corporation, which we hope is going to do a better job of being able to support projects around the world, particularly in countries, in developing countries. So I hope that's the case. Obviously, we also spend money on foreign assistance. That often doesn't go for the same kind of economic development projects that I would like to see, and I think many of us would like to see. But hopefully that's what the DFC, the Development Finance Corporation, will be able to do in a way that's more effective than it has been in the past.
If I could, if I understood the question right, essentially what you're asking is, there are competitive offers for development projects, why should countries not take advantage of it? I mean, if I could rephrase it in a way. It's international relations is competitive. Every country will look for opportunities and see what it can do. But while doing so, it's in their own interest to be prudent about what they're getting into, to do the due diligence. We have seen now countries, including in our region, being saddled with large debts. We have seen projects which are commercially unsustainable, airports where an aircraft doesn't come, harbors where a ship doesn't come. So I think people would be justified in asking themselves, what am I getting into? It's obviously in the interest of the country concerned, but it's also in the interest of the international community, because unsustainable projects don't end there. They then often the next is debt becomes equity and that becomes something else. So there are real concerns out there. So I think it's very important all of us make informed decisions, but of course very competitive decisions. If I can come back to your question, and my sense is, the Quad has agreed to do a vaccine project. I don't think the Quad necessarily has identical views on all subjects, including on the TRIPS waiver. I think we have a range of views on that. Perhaps ours are the most, in my view, progressive, but call it whatever. But the point, I think, which is troubling is, if you have a once-in-a-century pandemic with such horrific consequences, and then say, but it has to be business as usual when it comes to producing vaccines, ask yourself, are we doing the right thing? And this is not a one-off on vaccines. I mean, I would argue that is really what's happening on climate change as well. I mean, we get these homilies on how it's an existential issue. But when it comes down to actually putting resources or, spreading technology in a sense for public good, we don't see that. So there are real issues. I think the global south has serious concerns. One of the deep worries for the international order is large parts of the world will be under or non-vaccinated, and this will be stretching out of a pandemic, possibly, which need not have happened if we collectively had more effective policies.
Thank you very much. The lady in the third row, thank you. Thanks for your patience.